Okay, it's 4:30, so we're gonna get started, and we'll let others come in as they arrive. Thank you all for being here tonight. Welcome to our second virtual event of Passport to France, our 3-week French food and wine gastronomy celebration. We're looking forward to tonight's presentation on chocolate, which happens to be my favorite food, but so I'm a little bit biased. Thank you to everybody who has participated in Passport. I hope you enjoyed the first week and a half and that you've had a chance to visit some of the restaurants and take advantage of some of the special menus that we put together for you. If not, it's not too late. You have until the 19th, and you have a couple more big things coming up in the next week and next week. So we're looking forward to it. Thank you again to all of our sponsors who made this this 3-week program possible. Just a couple of notes, housekeeping notes. Please keep yourselves on mute during the presentation. At the end of the presentation, we'll open it up for comments and questions from everybody who's in the room. I just heard about 2 hours before this call that there's apparently a tornado warning in the area. I'm not sure exactly when it's supposed to hit, but there's also really bad wind. So if for some reason my Wi-Fi gets cut off or you get booted from this meeting, please just go back to the same link and you'll be able to reconnect right away. So it shouldn't be a problem, but I'm just hoping that it doesn't happen, but just in case. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of background, Barry Callebaut was founded in 1996 from the merger between Belgian chocolate producer Callebaut and the French chocolate cocoa pioneer Cacao Barry. The Barry Callebaut Group is the world's leading manufacturer of high-quality chocolate and cocoa. Barry Callebaut serves the entire food industry with a focus on 2 key target groups: global and local food manufacturers and artisans. Believe it or not, because they're mostly a B2B company, but you will find their products and brands in about 25% of all the consumer products that you eat that have chocolate or cocoa in them. So we'll hear more about that, and then we can seek them out. Barry Callebaut is involved in all steps of the cocoa and chocolate value chain with 59 factories worldwide and 23 chocolate academy centers, including the one in Chicago, which happens to be the only one in the US. So we're very lucky. I'd like to turn it over now to Corentin Poirier, the R&D chef at the Chocolate Academy of Chicago, or Chicago Chocolate Academy.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Okay.
Thank you, Andrea, for introducing me. Hi, everyone. I mean, if we're all here now, is maybe because we all have a guilty pleasure for chocolate. I mean, I have a very huge one. It's a problem to me, to be honest. My name is Corentin Poirier. I'm from Paris. Been working with like famous chefs since my apprenticeship. I'm a young chef, and I'm happy to like share with you some chocolate things that I know. I first wanted to thank Passport to France to like supporting the French community and businesses through the pandemic, and the French-American Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event. I'm just going to like share my screen with you guys. All right. So today I hope I'm going to like bring all of you guys in a trip into chocolate, and hope you guys will get to know more about it. As I said, I have a guilty pleasure about chocolate, but I did this presentation and I get to know more about the history of chocolate, which is like extremely interesting. So it's good when you have a guilty pleasure for something to know a little bit about its history. So that's what we're gonna start with today. So chocolate, the history of chocolate started like 2,000 years before Jesus Christ. Mayans and Aztec would use chocolate as a sacred drink, a present from their god Quetzalcoatl. They would make a drink either cold or hot, that they would just give it as a present for their god. The name of this drink would be chocoalt. As you can see on this picture, they are like kind of grounding the cocoa acid to make a paste. It has like a very strange texture, but we'll go back on that later. And now we're in 1492. So Christopher Columbus discovered America. I mean, 15 years later, 50 years earlier, Constantinople has been taken by Turkish Ottomans. So it was not possible anymore to trade spices in Europe from India. So Portuguese and Spanish would try to like find a way to go to India while following the African coast. But the thing is, Christopher Columbus he knew that the Earth was round, and he wanted to like sail west to to touch India the other way. But he landed after 36 days of sail. He landed in Bahamas Island, and he met Native American that he called Indian because he was sure he was in India. He brought over the chocolate to Europe. Fun fact, on the first trip back to Europe, he would toss the chocolate away from the boat because the texture was so weird. It was like a thick paste, brownish. So he toasted it because he saw it was like dog poop or so. Like it was very weird at the moment. But it happened in Europe, and it wasn't like a good drink. Also, like people would not like it because it was like super bitter and the texture was like extremely weird, and it was also extremely expensive. So only like aristocrat people would use it, but they would use it only as medicine. And European people would like start loving it. At the moment, they would add sugar to it. So the texture would change a little bit. It would not be a paste anymore. It wouldn't be a very liquid paste anymore. It would be something a little bit thicker, but still like not the texture we used to in Europe. So it became popular in Europe from the 17th century, and now in the 18th century, people are loving it. Like it's starting to spread like all over Europe. But the thing is, we want more chocolate, and the journey from Europe to America is like way too long. So we imported chocolate trees in Africa. So it was like way faster from European to like trade it. And just like that, like we were able to have like more produce. All over at the beginning of the 19th century, it's the beginning of vapor machines. So we would start to like being able to produce a bigger amount of chocolate. The production is getting higher, the demand is getting higher, and the texture of the chocolate itself is like changing a lot. Now we're like grounding it with like vapor machine. They are way stronger, so we make something thinner. So the texture is like way more appreciable. Like you don't feel like any grain into your tongue anymore. In 1846. I forgot to mention that in the 19th century, it's also the beginning of the first factories all over Europe. 1846, Fry and Son, they are like an English chocolate factory. They designed the first chocolate bar, like the actual shape that we all know today. And they made their unique process called the press. They would press the cocoa paste to extract the dry extract and the fat extract. They would be able to mix the fat extract with another paste and sugar to make the actual original chocolate recipe. They call it chocolate delicious to eat. 30 years later, the Swiss guy, Callebaut, created the first milk chocolate recipe by just adding some milk powder to the original Fry and Sons recipe. And 3 years after, a famous chocolatier called Rudolf Lindt. I mean, I think you guys might be familiar with that brand. It is like super popular in Europe. Lindt. So this guy created he created the unique process called like the conche, and this gave to the chocolate the actual texture of the chocolate we all know right now. This creamy texture, melting, crunchy when you have a bite on it. Like this technique is called the conche. And to finish the history of chocolate, we're in 1911. It's the beginning. Barry Callebaut launched their first factory in Waze, a small village in Belgium. I'm going to jump after that on Barry Callebaut history. So Barry Callebaut, as Andrea mentioned earlier, is our two companies. The first is Cacao Barry, which were created in 1842 by Charles Barry. Charles Barry is a famous architect. He designed like a Big Ben in London. Some important points of Cacao Barry history. They would create like baking sticks in 1963. Baking sticks are the chocolate sticks available in chocolate croissant. Chocolate croissant wasn't that famous even in France before that release. The sales of chocolate croissant get higher and higher after that. And they also designed the pistol shape in 1998. Pistol shape is like that kind of chocolate shape. It's something very useful for professional as me, like me, sorry. And this is also the story of Callebaut, a Belgian company created by Octave Callebaut in 1911 in Waze. Some important moment of Callebaut would be like their own recipe, the creation of their own recipe number 845. It is one of the best milk chocolate you guys would ever had. And in 1965, Callebaut became the first worldwide chocolate company. So both companies united their forces in 1996 under the same name, Barry Callebaut. And they would create a new chocolate in 2018 called the Ruby. I mean, you guys have probably found it in groceries lately. Some brand would like start selling it. This is a pink chocolate. We created our own and unique way to ferment our cocoa bean to give a unique flavor. And I mean, it's a delicious chocolate, and you guys will need to like try it in a bit. What we do for our customers are the company. So we make chocolate from bean to the bar, and we support our farmers chain with a fair trade program. We sell the chocolate and our chocolate produce worldwide for professional, for industrial, for distributors, and for suppliers. And we also support our customers anytime with like technical advice also or anything. Let me introduce you some of our gourmet brand, other gourmet brand that we have in the US. We have Vanlier. Vanlier produce to me the best chocolate made in the US. I mean, this is the best like made in the US chocolate I have found yet. We also have Karma. Karma is a sweet expertise chocolate brand. The sweets guys are extremely good with their dairy products, and milk chocolate is just amazing over those brands. They do also white chocolate, very, very delicious. We got American Almond. This brand is focusing on nuts from the US since 1924. And I can finish with Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa would provide like chocolate decor or continent to help small businesses to like offer a chocolate experience to their customers. I mean, I'm going to jump in the process of like making chocolate from the bean to bar. So it all starts in in different part of the world from Illinois also. So the harvest, the first step is the harvest. So we got like 3 different kind of trees. So we got also 3 different kind of pod. So the first and the most popular would be the Forastero, which represent 80% of the global production. It is the biggest production because this is the strongest. The tree is the strongest. We got another kind of called the Criollo. This is it represents 8% of the global production. This is a rare and a fine chocolate pod. And finally, we got the Trinitario. It's an hybrid between both chocolate kinds, and it represents like 12% of the global production. The harvest of the chocolate happened like all year long, and the main locations of it and on the plantation of cocoa tree are between the Capricorn tropic and the Cancer tropic, so right in the middle in the equator. And the most popular and working countries are like Ivory Coast, Ghana, Nigeria, Brazil, Mexico. Those are the biggest countries who produce cocoa. The second step is like putting out. So we got a harvest, it's done by hand. And then farmers break the pod with a machete. They cut it in two, and inside they would put out the cocoa seeds. Cocoa seeds are covered with a white pulp called mucilage. And they don't remove the mucilage yet. The third and the fourth steps are the fermentation and drying. So the cocoa seeds are the mucilage ferment with the cocoa seed inside. And after like 3 to 5 days, depending on the results we're looking for, we would dry them out under the sun, indoor or outdoor. So the mucilage dries out and form like a dark skin to protect the bean itself. Then we got like our shipping process, which happened by boat. Dried cocoa seeds are sent into jute bags. Once we receive them, we got the 6th and the 7th steps. Oh, and also we first have the cleaning process. We roast our seeds with a rotative oven, which send like a hot air from each part. The beans are broken, and we separate the dry mucilage from the actual seed inside. The 8th step is the grounding. So the grounding happened in a huge machine who just ground it, and you see the texture in the picture is the texture Aztecs and Mayan would have when they would ground their own cocoa by hand. I mean, they would have something a little bit thicker, but you see it's like liquid and thick at the same time. You can see the texture of it. Then we're going to the 9th step, which is the fry and sand step, the hydraulic press. So the cocoa paste would be pressed with the hydraulic press to separate the dry extract from the cocoa butter. The dry extract can be grounded to make like cocoa powder that you can buy like in any grocery, and the cocoa butter is going to be used to reuse for the process to make the actual chocolate. So the next step is mixing and refining. So we would mix every ingredient of the recipe. So the cocoa paste, the cocoa butter, the sugar. Those are the 3 main ingredients for dark chocolate. You can add milk chocolate to that, milk powder, and you got milk chocolate. But if you want to do like white chocolate, you would only go for like cocoa butter, sugar, and milk powder. So once everything is like mixed together, they go into like a refining process to like break any small pieces of the mixture, and who give like a very, very, very thin texture. So one of the 11th step is gonna be the crunching. So this technique, who has been like invented by Rudolf Linz, it's basically a slow process who takes from like 24 to 48 hours, who only gently mix the chocolate, and it like allows the molecule inside to like release and to get like loose. So after that process, you'll have like the texture of the chocolate, the melted chocolate we all know. And finally, the last step are tempering and molding. So to give the texture, that thick texture, that crunchy texture when it's set, when it's cold, so we need to give him like a variation of temperature. So it starts by like heating the chocolate up to like 50 Celsius, bring it down to like 28 or so, and then bring it up until you get like a thicker, looser texture to work it with, and you mold it into any shape you want. For professional, as I said, we use like those pistols, but when the chocolate is melted, you can basically mold it into like any shape you want. That's gonna be it for the process of like making chocolate. So I wanted to tell you a little about how to taste chocolate. I mean, this is something very cool. It's almost like wine. When you try wine, you guys would like try to like pick up any flavor or so. This is basically the same. I would recommend you guys to like try pure chocolate. I mean, obviously you can find some taste and specific taste in like a chocolate cream, a chocolate cake, but it won't be the same experience as like eating like a piece of chocolate itself. So it has like few steps to like make it properly. First, you have to have a clean mouth, and nose. If you had like a mustard sandwich before or a coffee, like of course you won't feel like the right flavors. First, water, you clean your mouth. Then you have the visual aspect, very important. I mean, if your chocolate is like dirty or so, like please don't, like it has to be clean, shiny, and hard to try. Then you got like the smell. So for example here, I mean, if some of you guys have a chocolate piece, that would be nice for you to like have it at the same time. But I have like this box of chocolate from one of our gourmet brands called Karma. Those are pistols. And today I'm like tasting this 64% of cocoa Madagascar chocolate. So you would start to like smell it. And at the beginning, you can identify some flavors. I'm going to show you this. So this is a chocolate sensory wheel. You can find a wheel like that online. Just type like chocolate sensory wheel on Google and you'll find it. It will help you to identify aromas, taste, and everything for you to like guide you through a degustation. But every degustation starts by smelling. So you smell 1 or 3 times, try to identify something. With this one, I would say that I got like floral smells and basic cocoa smells. Nothing too crazy. And then you have to taste it. So you don't want to like eat your chocolate, chew it, and swallow. No, you have to like put it in your mouth, let it melt for like 20 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds. Move your tongue to like perfume all of your mouth, and then you analyze it. I wish you guys could have this chocolate because this is truly awesome. I highly recommend our Karma brand. So this chocolate, I have a taste at the beginning, which is like it's sweet and sour at the same time. I can feel it sour because it take my tongue a little. Also, it makes the texture of my saliva a little bit looser. Flavors itself, It is like a smell, like something very fruity. Wow, I can smell the banana of it. Like, this is awesome. Now I swallowed it all, and the after swallowing impression is some of the most important. For like bad quality of chocolate, the smell would leave right after. If you keep it, if you still have some taste and smell for at least like 5 minutes or 2 minutes, sorry, I mean, it's a great chocolate. My last thought about this chocolate is that it's bitter at the end, and yeah, I said I have some hidden like chocolate cocoa flavors at the end. I mean, I wish you guys could try this chocolate and share the experience with me. It was a very delicious chocolate. So only things you have to remember: clean mouth, you have a clean nose. Also, if you want to try the experience, you can pinch your nose and have some chocolate, and it will taste almost like dust. So you see how important your nose is in the perception of flavors for the chocolate. And yeah, taste come when you have it in your mouth and have to stay after. And this is very important to analyze it. I wanted to introduce you to our French customers in Chicago, and I think we have Galit here with us. Galit, are you here? I'm going to check.
Hi, I'm here. Do you see me?
Yeah, thank you, Galit, for joining us. So Galit is one of our sales manager in Chicago, and she's working with some French chef, and specifically with Vanille, which is a company supported by the program Passport to France.
So yeah, just a quick referrals to 3 businesses in Chicago. So Vanille, which is owned by Sophie, and they produce French desserts and macarons, also Americans desserts, but mainly known for like their French style desserts. Also, à la Folie in Naperville. Our academy director, Chef Jerome Landrieu, opened this business and like a year ago, and is now manufacturing macarons in Naperville. So he's doing he's been doing a wholesale business. Probably COVID is different, but his main business is based on macarons, and he also ships online, and also every weekend he does some special French desserts that he offers to local people. I really recommend to check him out. Great desserts. And then the last one is Southern France. So Amanda is a pastry chef with a small patisserie, and it's open over the weekends. She's doing French pastries, and she's saying it's with a Southern hospitality. So some American tweaks on some classic desserts. And yeah, her place is also great. And she always has a line outside. It's open, I think, Friday to Sunday. And 3 of them are using some of the chocolates that our chef just reviewed.
Thank you very much, Galit. I mean, I highly recommend you guys Vanille, as I know they are like on the program, and à la Folie as well, because I used to work with a little bit with Chef Jérôme Landrieu. He is like extremely skilled, and you would have some amazing experience over there.
Corentin, I'm sorry to jump in, but could you also maybe tell us where people can find some of the chocolate bar brands that you mentioned, like the
yeah, sure,
some of the others?
So we got that we designed that website during the COVID called Not Without My Chocolate. We'll send you a link. It's basically a map where you can find any shop, like a restaurant or bakery or patisserie which will sell produce from our brand. So you guys can jump into on Google and like tap "not without my chocolate." You'll find it straight. Our academy in Chicago hosts some live demo bi-weekly. So I just wanted to introduce you to that link. We got a demo, it's like a 30-minute demo tomorrow about hot chocolate made from our chef, by our chef, Megan Bell. She's awesome. She's making a plant-based hot chocolate and a regular hot chocolate with some of our produce. I highly recommend you to have a look on that tomorrow if you guys have time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Fanny is with us. She's at the moment at the academy as you know, because of the virus, like I can't be in the academy half of my time. So unfortunately, I wasn't here to like show you around, but Fanny can show you some. Fanny, are you with us?
Yes.
Show us like some machine, like on cool stuff that we got in the academy.
I'm just not sure if I'm on the. Yes, so let me up. So
Okay.
welcome.
So here is
In
our
the academy.
empty academy.
Yeah, so we still have some chocolate and.
So this is the pink chocolate you guys are seeing right now is the new ruby chocolate. As I was telling you, we use the shape called pistol, which is way easier to like melt and to use, specifically when we need to like scale something. You don't have to like break the whole like chocolate bar. So.
And we also have this type of machine.
So Selmi is a very useful machine. As I was telling you, to like make the chocolate hard and shiny, to temper the chocolate. We traditionally do it by hand, but when you're in production, it's great to work with those kind of machines. They would like do a part of the work for you, and this is like extremely convenient. For now, I think they are using like a dark Guayaquil chocolate or so.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, from our gourmet brand Cacao Barry. This is also an extremely delicious chocolate.
So yeah, here's the academy where we normally have students and classes. We have an ice cream machine.
So this is the other machine right after this one, like the one you have in front of you, is an old-fashioned kind of chocolate machine as well to like temper it. Right on your left, can you just show that one? I think it's one of the coolest machine we got. The Chef Cut, that would be like a water cutting machine. It's very useful to like create cool designed chocolate shapes to create like chocolate showpieces also. This is a very useful machine, very new. Yeah, we have a different kind of oven as well. As a chocolatier or pastry chef, we would use a convection oven on top, or I don't exactly know the English name, but there would be like a bread oven, because the heat is coming from the bottom and from the top. Yeah.
This is a spraying station.
Yeah. So from here we would mix some cocoa butter with some chocolate to give like a very liquid texture to the mixture, and we would like spray it with a spray gun on a cake, on a chocolate showpiece. So it's like a painting station, kind of.
And just a sneak peek into our
storage. Storage.
Yes. So, packed with chocolate.
Yeah, so if you guys are going to that spot, you would like literally smell nothing beside cocoa. This is crazy. I mean, you got a good view of a small amount of our different kind of chocolate. Those are from Cacao Barry. For example, this Ghana one are only chocolate from the country Ghana. The selected bean to make this unique chocolate. Yeah. Thank you, Fanny, for showing us around the academy.
Of course.
I mean, if you guys have a question, we're good with our presentation. So you are free, I think, to unmute you and to ask anything.
Thanks, Corentin, for the fantastic, beautiful presentation, literally, and it was also, I think everybody's going to be a little bit hungry for chocolate after this, and I hope everybody who's here has at least something that they can get their hands on after this presentation. We'd like to open it up for questions from anybody who would like to jump in. If you have anything that you'd like to ask either of our Barry Callebaut representatives. If not, I can start and then somebody can jump in after. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about some of the measures you've had to put in place since in light of the COVID pandemic. I would imagine not only for you and you knowing that you have production sites all around the world, academies all around the world, but also that probably a lot of your customers have been hit pretty hard. So what has that meant for you as a business?
So as an academy chef, I don't have like that much like precision on what happened in the factories. I just knew that they put like high measure to like prevent virus getting inside the factories itself. But from our academy part, we would support customers through internet by doing like virtual classes, virtual demonstration. We would also help customers who have like issues with any of our chocolate while like doing like a Zoom call or so they can like show us around their place to see if there is like maybe a humidity issue, an issue with their machine. For example, we show you the Selmi, but this kind of machine is in any like chocolate factory. If they have an issue with their machine, we're here to support them at any point. But we would mostly develop our digital initiatives to support our customers.
Great, thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Chocolate Academy? Are you forming chefs to go on then and work with boulangerie et pâtisserie, or are you really just working? Do you stay working with Barry Callebaut and do demonstrations and teach people about chocolate like you're doing now, or how does it work?
Okay, so no, we're not a school, so we don't like train people to work in bakeries. We would train people who already have skills and who want to improve their skills into like specific techniques to rise up the level of the production. We support our marketing and sales team to sell chocolate, and I mean we have this vision, this chef vision to spread. We're trying to like spread our chef vision all over the US and in Canada. We're closely working with our team, with our academy in Canada. Did anyone have another question?
Yeah, you can ask it in the chat, or you can just jump in. Feel free to unmute yourselves and jump in. I mean, I could talk about chocolate for hours, but it would be like to have somebody else ask a question if you have it.
Hi.
Hi.
Bonsoir. Hi everyone. Thank you very much, Corentin, for this presentation. I just was a bit frustrated when you're saying it was really good when you were trying it. Next time, I think, Andrea, you can send us samples so that we we can be a part of it fully. But anyhow, Corentin, I was wondering if you could tell us more about how you got into chocolate, how it started for you personally.
Yeah. So as I said, I have a guilty pleasure about it.
Yes.
But no, I'm more a pastry guy. So I felt into pastry. I was like 8, because my mom used to bake a lot at home during the weekend. And, but during the week, once I'll be at home, like after school, I won't have like any of her cakes to eat. So I would just like make them myself. It started like that. And you know, in France, you start like very, very young, your apprenticeship. So I quit like regular school. I was like 14 and made my own way, like working with a chef and doing an apprenticeship. So it's like part-time, you're studying in a school, and the other part of your time, you're like working in a company. So I did a long study process. Like I studied pastries at school for like 6 years before I ended up. So,
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Corentin, do you know why Chicago was chosen as the place for the only U.S. academy? I mean,
I think Chicago. I'm not sure, but historically, Chicago has been very important in the trading world, so I think it was based on that, and also because there is a lot of industries factories outside of Chicago, so it might be a strategic point. I can't tell for sure. Voilà.
that's interesting.
I know that Chicago used to be kind of a capital of candy, so maybe that's related.
Of what? Capital of?
Des bonbons, candy.
Candy. Okay.
You know, a lot of famous candy companies originated in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard about that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I mean, Chicago itself is I'm new in Chicago, and I've been like touring around like downtown, and there is like a chocolate factory. I forgot the name, but it's amazing because it's like spread over chocolate flavors, like all over the city. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but you cross some streets and it smells chocolate.
Blummer.
It's like amazing.
It's down the street from my house, so it smells all the time around.
That's dangerous.
Next to the merchandise mart downtown.
Yeah.
One more. I have another question actually. Do you sell only chocolate à déguster? I mean chocolate to eat, and then the finished products. Is there an actual baking chocolate that a consumer could find in the stores or no?
I can't tell for sure, but I think no. We are only selling to like professionals or suppliers, but we're not at the moment. I think we have a plan to like make it happen, but it's not our main focus. And with the virus, like it might be delayed. But you guys will find the ruby shortly in like spreading over. I highly recommend you to have it and give us feedback. This is a very new chocolate experience. It's like the freshest chocolate, and still like very it's fresh and acidic, fruity, but still gourmet. It's an awesome chocolate. You'll find it in stores like shortly.
That's great. Thank you. It's fun to hear you talk about chocolate the way somebody would talk about a wine, right? We're talking about the flavors and the different things, to the different subtle origins to look out for. So this is really interesting. Does anybody? We do still have some time for questions if anyone has something else that they would like to.
On that note, what you said, what I'd like to know is what you think about all these different exotic flavors that people are coming up with. Like Vosges is very famous for that, which is a chocolate maker in Chicago. What do you think about all these flavors that people put into these chocolates? Are you like more of a purist?
Oh, okay. I mean, there is something I did not talk about, specifically if you're like a chocolatier customer. So I don't know if you're talking about that exactly, but some chocolate would be like squares, small squares of a ganache coated into another chocolate. So they would like flavor a ganache with basically anything. They could do like raspberry, they could do passion fruit, they could do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great experience to have, and it can be as a candy also. But as a purist and a lover of like the actual, the real like chocolate flavor, I mean, it's great as well. It's an extension of possibilities about chocolate. But some brands launch some chocolate, some flavored chocolate. Maybe it's that you were talking about. We have like a chocolate bar flavored with, I don't know, like mint or honey, or I've seen strawberries. This is a different experience. I think those brands would like add some dry fruits or extract into their chocolate, which like truly remove the natural flavor of it, like, to me. Okay. But as a purist, as you say, it's another aspect of the chocolate, and like anyone is like free to like jump into it, love it all.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions or any comments? If not, Corentin, is there anything that we didn't ask that we should have, or anything that you want to add? It's fun to listen to your enthusiasm about your brands and the products. So if there's anything else we should know, please tell us.
I mean, eat chocolate. And yeah, you guys should definitely have a look on that demonstration we have tomorrow. It's gonna be very cool. I mean, at this time past, like since plastic has been invented in like 1920, the food industry rise like a lot. Like, I mean, we discovered new containers, so we could ship our food like deep, far away. Then plastic wrap released in like 1980 or 70 or so, I don't remember. But the industry itself like is still like rising a lot, and you can see it into like social media, like the information is sharing like so fast right now. I'm a pastry chef creating a technique in Chicago, and a guy is like doing the same technique 2 hours after I posted it online in Hong Kong or in Japan. So the industry itself is like going up and up and up, and our role in as a purist is to keep on track the evolution of the industry, so it doesn't get too crazy. For example, like we have like, I see so much video about cakes who have like beautiful shapes, but they look like so disgusting, and I know that it's not gonna be good, and so we have to like, specifically as French chef, we have to keep like keep the tradition and like spread the tradition and the taste of good things.
Thank you. I think that's if nobody has any other questions, I think that's a good note to end on as part of our celebration of all wonderful French food and products and anything. So thank you. Thank you so much, Corentin.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Fanny, for helping us organize. It was a pleasure to learn more about chocolate generally, about all of your brands, and we look forward to looking out for everything we can find that has your ingredients in it To everybody who's here, and for those who couldn't make it, we will send a follow-up email with a recording of this presentation and a copy of the PowerPoint presentation that you received. And I will also reiterate the links that Fanny put in the chat so that we can all know where to find our chocolate as the winter sets in, and we need to find some good things to eat. So thank you all again for participating tonight. We hope you'll be back for our event on Thursday. It'll be our cognac tasting and mixology class, and for all the other events coming up in the next week and a half. So thank you all again. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Bientôt. Bonne soirée à tous.
Thank you.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.